Family, the excitement that we have seen happening in Zanu PF, especially with the days of this SADC summit or the meetings that have started to happen before and up to where we are today, we have seen quite a lot of excitement. We have seen quite a lot of Varakashi coming out wanting to portray Zimbabwe as one of the best countries ever on earth. And yet, Zimbabwe is one of the worst countries ever to live in because of Zanu PF and Emerson Mnangagwa. We have seen the running about that was happening when they were talking about the tourism night, whatever, SADC tourism and the like. We saw so much excitement happening there. And of all people to note was Jacob Mafume. Jacob Mafume was also part and parcel of those activities, and he was there. And of course, I know that he always have an excuse of saying, because I'm a Harare mayor, but the way that he is partaking into Zanu PF things is very, very sad. You can tell that Jacob Mafume is now fully baptized into Zanu PF, because in every activity of Zanu PF, Mafume is found to be there. Whatever Zanu PF does, Mafume is also there. And each time that you start to hear people of Zanu PF beginning to praise you, something is wrong already. You can never, as an opposition, somebody have Zanu PF speaking good about you. We don't know Zanu PF like that. Zanu PF does not behave like that, not at all. Where we can hear somebody of a different party or opposition party or ruling party speaking good about another person, you can experience such things maybe in South Africa, where you can have somebody from the EFF speaking good about what someone in the ANC has done or vice versa, something like that, but not in Zimbabwe. So the moment you start to hear Zanu PF beginning to hero worship you and praise you, the way that we are seeing now happening with Jacob Mafume, it's already an indication that somebody is now fully accepted by Zanu PF. I don't think Mafume will be removed from that mayorship position, because already I think Mnangagwa has loved him. Everyone in Zanu PF has loved him. He is dancing to the tune of Zanu PF. So there is no opposition mayor in Harare. It is just a fallacy. The truth of the matter is, this is already a de facto the Zanu PF mayor in Harare. So the Zanu PF patriots are saying Harare finally has a sensible mayor. Just imagine. When you hear this kind of language, especially from Zanu PF, then something is wrong somewhere. Finally, Harare has a sensible mayor. What do you mean by sensible? What do you mean by sensible? Somebody who is dancing to their tune, somebody who is bootlicking them. Those are the people that they call sensible. If you continue to go against Zanu PF and its rotten policies, you are called a puppet of the West, you are called names, you are called quite a lot of other things. Of course, we know what Zanu PF did in the matrix of the mayorship in Harare, how Zanu PF got involved, and all the shenanigans that happened there. While people like Mafume were still coming in as if they are coming from the opposition, yet they'd already received trinkets from Zanu PF in that group of Shabang. So they continue to say this is a sign that Zanu PF and opposition can work together on national issues. So you see, what is so surprising is, what opposition are they talking about? Because the very same Zanu PF people are saying opposition Triple C is organizing a march to remove President Mnangagwa. That's what they are writing. Hey, this opposition Triple C, they are puppets of the West. And here again, they are talking about opposition again, as of in the instance of Mafume, who happens to be also opposition the Triple C. So which Triple C are they talking about? This Triple C, there's a Triple C that they praise, and there's another Triple C that they lambast, and yet there is only one Triple C that is left. The only Triple C that is left is the Shabangwe Triple C. There's no other Triple C. If they don't have any name to it, then that is not our problem, because they want to attach a name. What Zanu PF wants is, whenever citizens of Zimbabwe want to arise, they want to attach a name to them so that it makes sense when they attack them. They don't want to look like they are attacking citizens of Zimbabwe. They would want to attack members of a political party, and that is what they want to do. And of course, if it is partyless, it means everyone else is going to be joining in, like the demonstrations that are supposed to be happening. They want to coin them and give them a name, so that once they have a name, they can be able to victimize other people who might want to be part of and parcel of what is happening. So this is very, very interesting. But looking at the politics in Zimbabwe, I definitely, I bemoan the politics that we see happening in Zimbabwe. This politics of using money, of wanting to use corruption, of using the poverty of people to capitalize on that, like what we are seeing Zanu PF doing. This really is a very, very bad the situation in Zimbabwe. It causes accountability to die. It causes democracy to die. It causes also, transparency in government and governance not to be there anymore, because they want to just formulate some puppet opposition. Then they can continue to do what they want while that opposition is busy twerking for them and ululating for them. That's what Zanu PF wants. Mnangagwa would want to have a submissive opposition that would dance to his tune each time that he say jump. They have to ask how high. So that is not the correct politics. That is not progressive politics in a country, because that's already is corruption on its own. To have a fake opposition party is corruption on its own. And this is what Zanu PF and Mnangagwa have done. They've made our politics in Zimbabwe worse than it could ever be in the past. So what we are now seeing happening is a situation where it is going to be very difficult, especially for those parties that want to start to rise, once they have people that are of not much integrity. They can be bought by money. People that are greedy for money, people that want to, that are hungry for riches. Those people will be simply bought by Zanu PF, and before you know it, the organization can be crumbling. And it is very difficult, really, family, for you to have out of 200 people, 200 is even too much, 10 out of 10 people to really have somebody who will not be able to receive money from Zanu PF if it's offered to them. It's very tricky, very, very tricky to have 2 people out of 10 who will say, or 10 out of 10 who will say we can't receive the money from Zanu PF. 2 out of 10 who would want to receive it. So that is what derails the opposition and the fight for democracy in Zimbabwe. So it would really need the intervention of God in Zimbabwe for us to have leaders who are going to stand up to the corruption of Zanu PF, so that they can fight until the removal of Zanu PF. Then we destroy all this nepotism, and we destroy all these shenanigans that Zanu PF has always been doing. So that is not the right politics that we are seeing happening in Zimbabwe. Mnangagwa wants to be a king, and he wants everyone to be subjects. And that is not supposed to be happening. And it is not supposed to happen. And Zimbabwean people are not going to allow that to happen. There is no king in Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is not a kingdom. Whoever is thinking about it as a kingdom, it's his own business. Zimbabwe is a democratic republic. And we don't want to hear of people that want to give themselves entitlement to Zimbabwe as if they gave birth to Zimbabwe themselves. Zimbabwe belongs to Zimbabweans, and all Zimbabweans have a right to have equality in Zimbabwe and to work and have equal opportunities. And that is the fight we are fighting, and we will continue to fight until victory is certain. So people like Jacob Mafume and the others are not the correct leaders. And already the precedents they've set already must teach Zimbabwean people how to deal with people like him next when there are elections that are coming. These people must just be buried politically. They can never survive again. Even Zanu PF that can rig for them won't be available in the upcoming future, where they will be able to be helped by Zanu PF, maybe to rig elections and win again. So they must be flushed down the political dustbin. They must just go, and we forget they ever existed. We need leaders that are accountable. We need leaders that are responsible. We need leaders that fear the Lord. We need leaders that know they are there to serve the people of Zimbabwe and not to serve their own interests. So this is what it is. Very, very sad development. But otherwise, that's how things are like. Let's continue to fight to free Zimbabwe. Let's continue to rise up. Until Zimbabwe is free, we shall not rest. We will fight on until we free our country. Zimbabwe will be free. The season of change is now. The season of change has come, and God is in it. When we say God is in it, we know what we are talking about. He is fighting with us in this battle, and we are never going to be defeated. Nobody can defeat the God that is on our side in this time around. This is why we are fighting a different war, and we will get a different result. Zimbabwe will be free, whether Zanu PF likes it or not. We are continuously standing up to make sure that it happens. And indeed, it is going to happen. So family, this is what it is. just giving you updates of what is happening. Continue to subscribe to the channel, like and share. We shall be meeting in the upcoming shows. You are blessed.